What's up everyone, Ian here. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to take you through some of the ankle work that I do with more or less everyone that I work with, including myself. What you're going to see is a couple of different progressions. Just so that you know, you're seeing a pad, you're also seeing the slant board. You could be doing this all on the ground, just here, and that would be perfectly fine and should even be regarded as kind of a regression or the foundational level of what we're really trying to accomplish today. So the other thing that you'll see within progressions there is I'm gonna have a weighted ball. So as I use the weighted ball and it takes me this way, as the weight goes that way, the other stuff on the other side of my body, including my adductor on the left side of the leg I'm standing on, has to work so that I don't fall that way and then I'm able to stabilize myself. The weighted ball is a great progression, it's a great thing to use. If you have a lacrosse ball, the task of it and the little bit of weight that the lacrosse ball adds is still going to be a good challenge and similar to the floor, treat it as a regression. Now, a kettlebell is another great thing. Could you do the kettlebell behind the back? Yeah, I guess so. Personally, what I use it as is just lateral, meaning I just go side to side, almost in a tossing pattern. So I'll show you guys that too, but just kind of going over all of our options for everybody that might not have everything that you see. So first and foremost, we can work on the pad. You're going to step right onto the middle of it. The goal is really to create a nice strong arch, really grip the pad with your feet. And from there, we're just going to start off with our leg locked out, so your knee is completely straight, and you're just going to pass this side to side. So you can get about 10 to 20 reps. Everybody's going to build up to it. Say I was doing it and all of a sudden I lost my balance. What we want to avoid is things like this and things like too much of this. Obviously, if you've been doing curtsy lunges, you're not going to tear your ACL, but it's not really a good idea to take that. The risk reward of that is not really what we want. So instead of going through any of this stuff, before you get to that point, tap your toe on the ground, get your balance back. If you were playing in a sport, you would have the ability to tap your toe. It's not like someone would say you can't touch the ground with that foot anyway. So getting that to correct yourself or self-edit is something that we actually want from this. So progression number one, start by just standing here, okay? Or you can go onto the pad. Then we can start adding the side-to-side stuff. And that's going to be just instability and flat surface. Now, within that, you guys notice that I had my leg locked out, right? So I could do the same exact thing for more of an athletic stance, which is something that I'm really going to be doing with everybody. So a lot of us, especially if you have someone that's in their posture and they like to stand like this with their knees locked out, maybe their pelvis dumped forward, they're going to have a really hard time bending their knees, pulling their core in, and putting the tension on their hips and their posterior line to hold them up. So how do we fix that? Bend the knee, soften it, hip hinge back, spine still stays long. I can learn how to own this position right here. I can add the kettlebell, and I can eventually add the weighted ball behind the back. So bent knee and straight leg both have value, both are important. Couple of things that you're looking for. We don't want the knee to collapse too far inward. You're going to see some movement, but as statuesque and as stable as possible is what you're aiming towards. So there's the pad, right? So we're taking that out of the way. Now we can start progressing and really we're just attacking different angles. So one of the things that we really want, especially for anybody with knee pain and athletes, especially basketball, is we want really good VMO ability to stabilize the knee. So the VMO is kind of a muscle, a little pouch right above the knee, and it works on keeping the knee from going crazy and all over the place. Now, one of the best ways to do that, especially someone who's limited in ankle dorsiflexion, is to get on here. So I can do the same thing. I can start with leg locked out. I can bend knee, I can sink back into it. This will actually allow my knee to travel forward. We don't want to ever feel any pain, obviously, but you can let that knee drive forward, and then I can get into here. When I am using the ball, I'd like you to have a straight arm so that you're here. 20, then switch. You could do 10, you could do 12, as always. Hopefully you guys are getting the point that it's not so much do these exact amount of reps, it's what's specific to you. So there's straight downhill, straight leg, bent knee, right? I got those two options. Now, specifically for me, right, say you were someone who sprained their ankle in inversion. Well, doesn't that make a lot of sense that I would put my ankle in a controlled amount of inversion? So see how I have to invert my ankle there? Reps, right? Straighten out the leg, abs get tight, stay tall, reps, okay? Same exact thing, eversion, right? If I'm working on my dorsiflexion or you're working on your ankle mobility and you're trying to get better at squatting, getting really good in eversion will promote good dorsiflexion. So being able to get into this stance right here and then stay stable as you're going through it would really be beneficial. The other thing about these stances is if you look and see how I'm standing, I'm really standing where I should be in my landing mechanics or even jumping, going to my next step, sprinting. So getting into that hip hinge and linking the foot up is crucial for any athlete. So then last but not least, we can go into actual dorsiflexion. Now most people when they get into this, they're gonna be completely locked. Meaning as soon as they get up there, you might even see them just completely straighten out their leg. It's almost a protective kind of mechanism because the tissue doesn't feel confident and doesn't feel safe to communicate with the nervous system, hey, let my knee come forward. But you should be able to let your knee soften and let your knee come forward a little bit. We should have no pinching in the front, and it's perfectly fine to feel a stretch in the back. Now from there, I can just work on holding. I can go side to side with weight. I can go behind the back. You can also add a little variability and challenge your nervous system in a different way of learning and say, I'm gonna go 3 behind the back, then I'm gonna go 3 behind the back the opposite way. So you can change the number. So it's not 20 in a row. I got my balance somewhere around 4. The last 16 were relatively easy. You can keep switching that, which will cause self-editing. So as I'm here, starting to lose my balance, as soon as I see I hit 3, then all right, instead of doing 20, do 3 and switch. Now I can work a little bit stronger on that exact moment of switching and being able to really stabilize with a smaller rep number and more variability in terms of where I need to adapt. The other thing that we can do, okay, last really kind of strategy that I'm going to show you in this video is you can start working on single leg deadlifts from here. So say I'm in dorsiflexion, abs get tight, I can hinge all the way back. I should feel a really nice stretch through my calves, come all the way up, nice and strong. You can totally squat on this, lunging with a different foot. We're not going to go into all that, but just realize that it's really an option for you. So, quick review. Start from the floor. Best advice I can give you for someone who's working on their feet. Brush your teeth on one foot. Brush your teeth on one foot and hip hinge. All day. Always working on it. Okay. See building the foot. Progression number 1, start working on that too. Make sure your toes work. Then you can start adding a little bit of these challenges. We can get unstable, we can change and elevate and even add the inversion, eversion. You can use a kettlebell to go side to side behind the back. We can use a weighted ball, or you can just keep it simple and use a lacrosse ball. If you're someone who got up here and you were all falling over as soon as you did it, you did 1 or 2 reps and you can't keep your balance, regress yourself. Regress to progress. Stay here. Just work on owning this position right here without everything going crazy. Should keep abs tight, solidify your the middle of your body so that the rest of the extremities can be a little bit more stable. Give that a try. Should be going to work a lot more on ankle mobility over the next couple of weeks and really kind of get some good videos out for you guys. So enjoy the rest of your day.